250cc division is experiencing a memorable year. The sport and its fans have witnessed the retirement of its greatest champion, Jeremy McGrath, seen increased exposure worldwide, cheered a field of talented riders decimated by injury, and followed Ricky Carmichael's pursuit of a third consecutive title. Now we must add to the list Australian Chad Reed's late season charge and his string of 4 victories. Last week's 20-lap battle was a classic, and expectations are high as Salt Lake City, Utah's Rice-Eccles Stadium hosts the penultimate race of the season. This is the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series. You are looking at the Wasatch Mountains just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah, as we come to the capital city for the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series. And welcome inside Rice-Eccles Stadium. Just over a year ago, the Olympics were here, the opening and closing ceremony, but tonight, it's all about the best Supercross riders in the world. Todd Harris along with David Bailey, not the best in the world, but we're happy to be here and glad you can join us. Let's talk about the best. Chad Reed, 4 wins in a row. The start of the season, did you think that was possible?
Well, when he won the opener, I thought, boy, this guy is for real. He was very fast in the first 2 rounds in Europe, but last weekend in Dallas, he proved he can beat Ricky on pretty much any track. That was a hard, slick track. Lots of lead changes, and it seemed to be messing with Ricky Carmichael just a little bit, trying to get in his head. That's his best move. He's too far behind, just consistently beat him and hope for the title. He's got to hope Ricky makes a mistake, and he was pushing him hard.
Well, Ricky Carmichael does not like to be in second place ever. Here at Salt Lake City, though, he has won 2 years in a row, so he expects to stay on top in the first place position.
Well, where he's standing right there, he went down and practiced hard. He's got a few stitches in his chin, but this kid is tough. The first time he ever won here in Salt Lake, he went down hard in practice, came right back, fought through the pack to win it. I think we're going to see the intensity that made Ricky Carmichael what he is.
Let's take a look at the Honda Series standings. It's Carmichael and Reed, and then Fonseca, Vuillemin, Way, and Tim Ferry. Let's talk about Ernesto Fonseca. He's a Honda team rider. Tim Ferry has come back from injury, maybe prematurely. Riding rules?
I have a feeling that's been talked about. Probably a team meeting somewhere along the line. Of course, Fonseca, a Team Honda rider, he understands his role. Here he is battling with Nick Way last weekend in Dallas. Third place for the last 4 rounds. He's certainly fast enough to get in there and affect the outcome of this and try to help his teammate Carmichael put this title away. On the other hand, the guy that's been missing for a while in the Yamaha camp, Tim Ferry, he doesn't really need to ride these Supercrosses in my opinion, but I have a feeling he's going to go out there and do whatever he can to offset whatever Fonseca might be up to and help his teammate and friend Chad Reed get a title.
Let's take a quick look at the THQ World Supercross GP standings. Chad Reed has set up the title. Then it's Vuillemin, Voss, and Ferry. Tim Ferry may be coming back to pick up some more of those THQ points. We also want to talk about the privateers, a great battle with Ryan Clark, Keith Johnson. So the story will certainly unfold tonight at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Now, as David pointed out, Ricky Carmichael went down in a very tricky section of the course. A lot of the riders are telling us it's a very technical course. For more on that course, let's send it down to the doctor of courses, of course, Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, behind me is one of the more difficult sections I've seen in Supercross all year long. And it's an interesting section for more than one reason. Dirtworks and Clear Channel Entertainment got together over the net and had to design your own section contest. And, well, this guy right here won it. Russell Jackson came up with this idea. Sure, anybody can design a big jump or a bunch of whoops, but this section is unique. Tell us why this section won.
Well, this section had a lot of different options, a lot of different ways to jump through it, so we thought it provided some good racing.
Well, in practice, we definitely saw some guys working hard at it. Ernesto Fonseca and Ricky Carmichael got a line that no one else did. Are you surprised a guy like Chad Reed had some problems with this section?
I never thought Chad Reed would have any problems through here. He's such a technical rider, you know, I didn't expect anything like that.
Well, maybe Chad's got something up his sleeve. I'll tell you, difficult sections, what Supercross is all about, and we'll probably see some more ideas from this guy in the future.
Thank you, Cameron. It's now time to take a look at the THQ track map from Salt Lake City.
It's going to be a shorter start this weekend to a tight first corner. Right out of that, a rhythm section into the first big triple, another left around the perimeter of the stadium off the top of those plateaus, very technical. Over another triple before 2 whoop sections leading up to the big finish line jump. And after the finish, you're going to go across the start, make a couple of hard lefts, and come back through another rhythm section before making a 180-degree right-hander and through perhaps the toughest rhythm section we see tonight.
It's time now for 250 heat number 1, and what a event this will be. Like Team Yamaha out there. It's all blue on the line as we take a look at the Honda, or excuse me, the Nissan starting grid.
If you look at the right side of the starting line right there, there's only one bike that's not a Yamaha. It's Ernesto Fonseca, number 24. He's just right up there next to the box. Reed way over to the inside. There's Chad. Ryan Clark to his right. He's got the helmet camera, you can see. It's cold down there. These guys are wearing jackets right to the last second. I'll tell you what, being warmed up is a big deal here, and you might hear riders talking about riding tight out there. It's because they're not warmed up enough.
And the 30 board is sideways here in Salt Lake City. Yamaha with a full cadre of riders out there. Reed slips just a little bit, but pops in, and there's his teammate, Timmy Ferry. No rust on him, David Bailey.
That 4-stroke works well up here. Those bikes have a little bit more horsepower, and being at altitude, these 252 strokes, they lose a little bit of their power, and Timmy just proved that 450F Yamaha is hooked up no problem. He also got a great jump off the gate. Chad got a terrible one when he's able to sneak through everybody, and he's sitting 4th right now and moving into 3rd. Great job in that first 2 corners.
Timmy Ferry leads him into the green flag lap. Right behind him is Ernesto Fonseca, number 24, the lone man on the Honda. And then here comes Chad Reed, currently sitting in 3rd. His very first race since Daytona, Florida, and it's surprising to me how well he's done here. I thought for sure he would have a little problem maybe getting back into the rhythm.
Now it's, Fonseca, all the way up onto the top of that plateau. Nice line. Chad Reed was right behind there, right behind him. He saw him do that, so that's a line that I saw Carmichael doing earlier. I didn't see Chad Reed really get it dialed in. We just got a lesson in how to do it from Ernesto. And, Tim Ferry, riding talent, that doesn't go anywhere, but sustaining this pace, that's the tough part. Reed is coming. Timmy's going to feel that here in about a lap or a lap and a half, maybe less.
So it's Tim Ferry, Ernesto Fonseca, and Chad Reed. And look at Reed go through the whoop section. Fonseca shuts down his line, but it's Tim Ferry out in front. It's a Yamaha sandwich, and Ernesto Fonseca's in the middle of it. He's going to lose the position right there, comes right back.
Look at that.
And Ernesto uses Reed to get past Ferry, and it's Ernesto Fonseca now in 1st. Number 24 on board the Honda, originally from Costa Rica. And Chad Reed had come together. They bump, and Fonseca gets that unscathed. Reed sits in 2nd.
This is exactly what Honda would like to see happen. You don't really want to see all kinds of team riding and dirty stuff going on, but you just want to interrupt the flow a little bit.
When we return to Salt Lake City, Utah, we'll have the conclusion of 250 heat number 1 right after this. Welcome back to Salt Lake City, Utah. We're in Rice-Eccles Stadium. This is 250 heat number 1. There he goes. Look at that. There's nothing Ernesto Fonseca could do. He just launched off that tabletop, and by the time Fonseca got turned around, Reed was already his pivot point.
Went in there and clipped his front wheel just a little bit. Ernesto trying to get back at him. Just can't quite do it. And the rust that you thought might have been on Tim Ferry is evident now, because the pace of these guys is unbelievable. Look at Chad just dive to the inside. I saw him practice just what a beautiful opportunity that was going to be, to just jump into there to the inside while someone's going out wide to set up for the triple. He did get in there and smack the front wheel of Fonseca a little bit. He's got that section figured out now, so now he just needs to post a fast lap so he can feel good about having to weather that little bit of storm he had there and get around Fonseca and his teammate Ferry, win this heat. But I don't know that it's going to be as fast as what Ricky's prepared to do out here. So Chad needs to put together a really hot lap here.
Chad misjudges that triple just a little bit, gets back in the bike, taps the front brake, brings it down quickly, gets right back in the right position. Ernesto trying to reel him in, but he just has no answer for him right now. Ernesto's getting a great run through the whoop section, but as soon as he hits the ground, Chad just accelerates out of the turn.
This is the best I've seen Ernesto ride lately. He's been sort of just settling for 3rd and nowhere near these guys. I mean, not even close, 20 seconds back, and right now, pretty much matching the pace of Chad. Chad got around him, but Ernesto, he's close enough to make something happen here in the last lap.
Ernesto has had success here in Salt Lake City. He won in Salt Lake City in 2001 in the 125 class, where he was on a Yamaha. As we go back and check out Ryan Clark, number 37, on the Yamaha, the blue bike. He is sporting the helmet cam. Ryan Clark, 25 years old, a 7-year pro, Team Solitaire Yamaha Crossroads Motorsport rider out of Corrales, New Mexico. Somewhere in New Mexico.
And he's a little bit, he's going to have to move up a position to make it into the main. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch Johnson, who he's battling with for this top privateer position. So in the last lap, these guys come around. They have to make another right here to go get the white flag. Chad Reed had a half a lap to go, has opened up a small gap over Fonseca now. So Fonseca riding as hard as he could go, but just little by little, Chad's able to inch away, and he's starting to ride a little bit better. 51.3 for Chad Reed. That's the fastest lap so far. That was his last lap. It will probably be his best. This last lap, I imagine he's going to take it just a little bit easy. He's been already waving at the fans.
Chad Reed, number 22, will pick up the heat win here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and what a great run it was. Ernesto Fonseca, to his credit, held off Reed for several laps, but in the end, it was Reed, the young man out of Australia, the man who is on a 4-event win streak, trying to make it 5 here in Salt Lake City. So Chad Reed is your winner, heat number 1 in the 250 class, as we take a look at the Honda Heat 1 official results. It's Reed, Fonseca, Tim Ferry, who got the whole shot, sits in 3rd, and then it's Keith Johnson and Ryan Clark, the top 4 advancing to the main. Right now, let's send it down to the field and Cameron.
Well, guys, with 4 Supercross wins in a row, you'd think Chad Reed would walk right through his heat race. Chad, were you surprised by the speed of Ernesto Fonseca? Was it the track? What was going on out there?
No, I wasn't surprised. He was riding great in practice, and you know, it's a tough track. You got to really be smart and you know, make good passes. And I was trying to make something happen, and you know, I just put a bit of an aggressive pass over there, and you know, in the main event, I just want to get a whole show.
Well, Chad, we look forward to seeing a great battle in the main.
Yeah, thanks, Cameron. I want to thank all the people at Yamaha, Zola, Pastrana, and Scott and Bridgestone helping me out. Hopefully we can pull it together.
Well, guys, I'm here outside the Asterisk Mobile Medical Center, and what is that? That's like a hospital on wheels for the guys, and who sponsors it? Asterisk Knee Braces. And, well, I figured since they're putting up all the dough, let's talk to them about their product. Tom Carson, co-inventor of the knee brace here. Tom, I want to ask you, why knee braces, why Asterisk?
Well, basically what it is with our design, we use a rigid frame design to encompass your knee. And basically you could think of that somewhat like a roll cage in a car. You want to get your joint inside of that so that it cannot move, you cannot have any movement in there, or you risk some type of an injury. One of the other key elements of this brace is an adjustable cuff. That allows you to accommodate his or her different size calf or thigh, so that if you do take a side impact, the brace does not roll over the leg, pushing it off the leg, maybe incurring an injury. Another key element in the brace is this adjustable liner. And you can actually think of that somewhat like a seatbelt in a car. You're able to buckle or unbuckle it for the calf and the thigh. Adjustable strings to accommodate for different sizes. Quick and easy access in and out of the brace. Another key feature is the patella cup. That gives you protection against impact, a rock from another bike, you fall on the ground. You want to have some type of protection for your kneecap itself.
Right on. Well, they sound safe, and I think everybody should probably wear them. I wear them. I want to ask you, Tom, last thing. These things are awesome. How many or what percentage of riders in Supercross are wearing these things?
About 95% of the riders out there have one of our products on their legs.
Right on. Well, if 95% of the motocross riders, the best riders in the world, run it, you probably should too.
Heat number 2 from Salt Lake City on the line, and we saw a great one in heat number 1 with Chad Reed. We'll see if Ricky Carmichael can match that as we take a look at the THQ starting grid. There's Carmichael Way, Larry Ward, Sean Hamlin, Jason Thomas, Josh Demuth is here. Clark Stiles has been impressive this year, as has Ted Campbell at times. So the story coming to this one is Ricky Carmichael and his chin. 3 stitches at the hospital this afternoon. He took a bad stumble.
And you know what? 3 stitches, Todd, sounds like...
Yeah, for Ricky, that's nothing.
What a wuss.
I think I got 3 stitches shaving the other day, but for Ricky, yeah,
the crash
more psychological.
He went up on top of a plateau, hit neutral, and the bike drilled him into the face of the next jump. But he's tough.
We will find out how tough he is. They're up the line. Carmichael gets a terrible start, goes right to the back of the pack, and his old friend, number 10, Larry Ward out in front, but it's Sean Hamlin, number 33, who squirts into the lead. Sean Hamlin, the subject of a lot of talk, David. Everyone seems to want him right now, and whether he's buying into that talk or not, Hamlin has got to back it up here in Salt Lake City.
Well, now the thing with Sean is he's had an opportunity to win these heats. He won his heat in Houston with a mistake Carmichael made. Carmichael buried in the pack, 10th right now, moving up through the whoop section a little bit, but Sean Hamlin, rather, he won his heat in Houston. He came back. It looked like he was going to win his heat in Dallas until he went over the bars on a real tricky section. Watch Carmichael right away gets sideways. Bumps into Nick Way, bumps into Hamlin, and you just got to ride behind everybody at that point. Larry Ward gets in there, but he couldn't hold the inside. Hamlin on that two-stroke 250, a little bit more nimble than the four-stroke, just slung shot out of there into the lead. And if he keeps his cool, he should be able to win this. Ricky's buried. Trying to work his way around Brian Mason right now. His timing a little off right there. Couldn't quite get it done. There he goes. Look how much lower Ricky stays to the ground. That's suspension right there. A little bit of technique. Ricky not able to get over those plateaus the way he wanted to because he couldn't get the right entrance. But that's where he went down this afternoon in practice. Hamlin down again. So the leader, the second time in a row, and had a chance to win a heat race. Blows it. There goes Carmichael, and there's no way he's going to win it now. Golden opportunity.
Hamlin and Carmichael neck and neck right now. Unfortunately, they are back in the pack in 6th and 7th respectively. And what turns out is Thomas Hoffmaster inherits the lead with Ward and Demuth going 1, 2, and 3. And who would have thought that as we look at it one more time, 33 is Hamlin.
As we take a look at the replay, gets a little sideways right there. Hamlin was able to pass Carmichael back, and Carmichael got right back by him. So a lot going on here.
As the sun begins to set in Salt Lake City, we're going to step aside. We come back to the conclusion of 250 heat number 2. Plus, we'll have the Thor Rider profile when we return to Salt Lake City. Back to Salt Lake City, Utah, and Rice-Eccles Stadium. We are in the midst of a fantastic heat number 2 with Ricky Carmichael battling to claim the win.
Here goes Ricky. You know, everyone's making a big deal out of it, but these guys always rise to the front. They're good. And the best riders always end up front. We're going to see another Chad Reed, Ricky Carmichael battle tonight. I guarantee it.
Well, I've been very impressed throughout the year, David. The fans are so knowledgeable. They really follow the sport. They know what they like. Ricky Carmichael has met mixed emotions, mixed fan support. As we look at the pass one more time, he just shoots through this whoop section. Larry Ward had no answer.
Well, Ricky just goes in there faster. And that's the part where he's been struggling just a little bit against Chad Reed lately, but I have a feeling they've been trying to get things dialed in a little bit. Get back in. Normally so low on Ricky's bike, doesn't seem to be riding quite as low. If you watch the rear wheel and the fender, the rebound is a little bit faster. And that's something that normally Carmichael's bike, it almost takes the entire flight over a triple for that rear wheel to come back to full extension. So they've made some changes, and he's getting through that whoop section quite a bit better.
Sean Hamlin now in 5th place. He was our leader until he went down. Remember, they're only taking the top 4 of the main, 5 through 20 to semi number 2. And for Sean Hamlin, the subject of a lot of talk in the industry, he definitely does not want to have to race in a semi or perish the thought in LCQ. But Ricky Carmichael is showing the way right now in Salt Lake City. What I began to say is there have been some very pro Ricky Carmichael. Oh, a lot of action in that first corner right there as they go around. Hamlin now picking up a spot over Larry Ward.
Now, look at Ricky already going the other way. It was only a couple laps ago. He's still in 3rd. And he's already got about a whole straightaway lead on all these guys, and Hamlin's able to work his way right through them, too. The top factory riders, they rise to the top.
Well, that's why they have the factory ride. What I was going to say was Salt Lake seems to be a very pro Ricky Carmichael crowd, despite the fact that they haven't seen much of Chad Reed. In a race on the 125 West Circuit last year, he was an East rider as the white flag comes out. But they're getting an introduction to Chad Reed, and they, of course, know Ricky Carmichael. He has won the 2 times they have come to this venue, and he'd like to make it 3 in a row and stop the hemorrhaging into Chad Reed that has been just taking wins 4 weeks in a row.
Hamlin now up into 3rd. He's got the rest of this lap to try and get a 2nd place in this heat race, and kicking himself later for blowing it in that corner. Already you see Ricky going by the other way, and with that kind of a lead over Hamlin, I'm wondering, man, we would have gotten to see a great last lap battle, I think, between Hamlin and Ricky, because even if Hamlin hadn't got down, have gone down there. I think Ricky might have been catching them anyway.
Well, Ricky Carmichael has won 11 of 14 qualifying heats this year, and for number 4, make it 12 of 15 as the Honda, mounted by young Ricky Carmichael, comes across. He picks up the victory. But I'll tell you what, David, it wasn't an easy qualifying heat. So Ricky Carmichael is the winner in heat number 2. As we take a look at the Suzuki Heat 2 official results, it's Carmichael, Josh Demuth, Nick Way, and Sean Hamlin all advancing to the main event. Larry Ward, unfortunately, will have to go to this semi-races to qualify for the big show. And right now, let's send it down to Cameron, who is trackside.
Ricky Carmichael, a great performance, getting the heat win, but a tough start. That track looks like it's hard to work on.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's you got to ride really aggressive. I need a better start. You know, I don't know what happened. I just spun really, really bad, and I need to find a better gate position, I think.
We're doing this interview. The fans at home can see your face, the bandage on your chin, the cut on your nose. What happened today?
I fell and had to get some stitches, but, you know, that's the way it goes, and, man, I just want to win the main event. You know, it's been a while for me. I feel like my bike's working good tonight. I think it's time.
We're looking forward to a great battle.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Cameron. It's time now for the Thor Rider Profile.
All right, so we got the guy off his bike, the number 22, Chad Reed, and we want to know a little bit more about him. He comes from Australia, and he goes real fast. We know that so much. But what's Australia about? Why are you guys so quick on the dirt bike?
I don't know, Cameron. It's just, you know, the American Supercross. You guys make such a great series, and we want to be here to be a part of it.
Right on. We wants to rip the championship from Ricky Carmichael, the AMA championship. He's already champ. Can we call you a champ? I mean, he's the World Supercross GP champion. Is it cool to call you champ now?
No, I just like
champ.
to go with Chad. And,
Champ.
you know, being World Supercross champ definitely is, you know, we went there and I guess we did our job. We became the champion. And, you know, I definitely want to do my best to try and at least make the AMA one pretty exciting come Vegas.
All right, so you can hear the quiet confidence, but can you see the little bit of a grin he's got going on there? He knows he's fast on the dirt bike. I want to ask you, Chad, what do you do to get ready? I mean, everybody hears these horror stories about being an athlete. You can eat like half a chicken breast, and you got to eat your broccoli cold. I don't even eat broccoli, in case anybody's wondering, but what do you have to do during the week to sacrifice to be a guy that can win Supercross?
Well, you're going to play a lot of golf, do a lot of surfing, and, you know, a lot of free riding. And, you know, you turn up on the weekend and you become a racer.
That is the best answer I've heard in all the interviews I've had in Supercross, period. What about winning? You ready to do some winning?
Here we go.
I'm ready. Definitely want to win them all. And, you know, confidence is a nice thing to have on your side, and winning is it's my favorite thing.
Right on. Don't kid, kids. He's for real. Chad Reed, the 2-2 on the Yamaha. Watch him fly by the stadium near you.
It's time for the Honda flashback. Last year, as Supercross pulled into Salt Lake City, the excitement was as thick as the mud. Carmichael took the whole shot in the main, but would end up behind Vuillemin for a few laps. He would eventually make the pass, take the lead, and clinch his second consecutive 250cc Supercross title. If you can't make it to a Supercross event in person, you can still experience the excitement live on SXGP.com. When we return to Salt Lake City, Utah, the 250 main is next.
Everybody's
Come back to Salt Lake City for the AMA Supercross Series and the THQ World Supercross GP. Time now for the Nissan qualifying highlights as we look back at 250 semi number 1. Only 5 positions automatically advanced to the main event. And it was apparent from the start that everyone intended to get in those top 5 positions.
It looked like Voss had the whole shot, then DeHaan got in there, then number 40, Savolny got in there, and then finally Ryan Clark moved past them all.
Casey Lytle also getting into the fray. Greg Snell looked good. The whoop proved to be his downfall. And then it was Ryan Clark, the helmet cam. Cue him, and he'll bring home a checkered flag.
One more time for the whoop sections, and he was in the main.
That takes us to semifinal number 2. Once again, only 5 positions. It looked like Larry Ward had this all dialed in, but this race really went down to the final 2 laps.
Thomas and Stiles, Larry Ward's teammate, got around him. Eventually, Ward found his way back in the lead and checked out while the battle behind him got really good.
Remember, we're only taking the top 5 in the main event, and the guy who really impressed us, Tyler Evans, right there, number 64 in the ECC Suzuki.
Going back and forth right there with Brian Mason, eventually getting around him, but it didn't end there. Watch Tyler on the outside, landing into the tough blocks. Then it gets good. He squares them both off. A 2 for 1, then gets one more rider in the last corner to move into 4th.
So Tyler Evans with a great pass and another on the final straightaway. He would go into the main event, picking up the 4th qualifying position. That would take us to the LCQ, and this one, not a pretty sight, David. A lot of carnage.
Everybody going down in the first corner. A lot of things happen in this race, but that's what the LCQs are about. It's only the top 2 that get to qualify. Everybody else goes home. Check out
Joe Aloff going down, and this is on the final lap. Clark Stiles looked like he would move in. He would have his problems as well. And then it was Greg Schnell who would emerge unscathed, picking up the win. And those are your Nissan qualifying highlights. It's the 250 main event from Salt Lake City, Utah. We're about a mile high, and you can feel it in the air tonight. It is chilly, but no one has left the stands. The battle royale will be on between Chad Reed and Ricky Carmichael as we look at the Suzuki main event starting grid.
It's coming down to the start, and I expect Chad to take off the line and lean left and just ruin the rhythm of Carmichael, who's sandwiched by Yamaha.
Well, the 30 board is up as we take a look at Chad Reed. We remind you that Ricky Carmichael went down earlier today in practice, had to have stitches put in his shin, 3 to be exact. And Carmichael right now, I'm sure, is not focusing on that, and we've seen it before. Riders have injury or sickness, are able to focus better on their riding. And look at the tension on that line.
Here we go.
Unbelievable. We'll keep an eye on the SXGP.com whole shot. Keep an eye on 4 and 22. They're the ones doing the battle for the points lead. And we are off and racing. Carmichael with a great start. He won't get the whole shot, but a good position. A big pile up, and Carmichael will come out relatively unscathed. But it is Tim Ferry, the Yamaha rider, who picks up the SXGP.com whole shot.
And somehow, Chad Reed is able to already get past Carmichael. That's just unbelievable. I don't know. And Carmichael jumps over Chad Reed.
Goes to the inside line.
It's on, folks. Chad Reed goes back by him. 3 passes already.
Carmichael squares it up, tries to get a run on the inside of the whoop section. Chad Reed just a little too quick.
And there's
so
not a Honda
4 and 5.
No, that's blue, blue, blue. Hamlin's the only guy spoiling the Yamaha party right here, and Ricky's got to be thinking about that just a little bit. He's got another Yamaha, Ryan Clark, behind him, who's got the helmet camera, and if anything goes on right now, we're going to get a great shot of it.
So as they go into this lap, it's Ferry, Hamlin, Way, Reed, and Carmichael.
Carmichael already getting around Nick Way. Beautiful inside line. That really works. I haven't seen anyone doing that. Carmichael's the only one. Both times he's done it, once in his heat, once so far in this main event. It's worked for a pass.
Tim Ferry, welcome back to Supercross. We haven't seen him since Daytona. It doesn't look like he's missed a beat as Chad Reed picks up the spot, but Sean Hamlin comes right back, unable to sustain the speed in the whoop section, so it is 1-2 Yamaha, and this is exactly, David, what the folks at Honda did not want to see.
Now, I can see some of them over to my left up here in the press box, and I guarantee you there's a little tension right there. Carmichael gets by Hamlin. Beautiful move, triples into the corner to get around, triples up onto that plateau to stay in contention. Watch his inside. Comes out right next to Reed.
Well, he almost used Ferry as a deterrent there. Ferry's going, oh, that's my boy right there. I got to let him get a pass. Look at that.
Ferry gets right out of the way, but it doesn't work. Carmichael gets him.
Oh, Carmichael picks up 2 Yamaha for the price of 1. And Chad Reed on the outside. Tim Ferry on the inside. Ferry goes down into the top line. So now he's mano-a-mano. Honda against Yamaha. Carmichael against Reed. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Carmichael goes down. Chad Reed clips his front tire. Ricky dropped back now to 5th place. He will go to 6th place. Is the bike still running? Yes. So Ernesto Fonseca, his teammate, sits right in front of him. Tim Ferry, who also went down, is behind Carmichael. And for Team Honda, David, this is the worst thing that could have happened.
I can't believe Ricky didn't kind of see that coming on the outside of Chad in a wide open corner. And, you know, Chad has just been nice all this time, waiting for the opportunity to get a little mean. and he couldn't have picked a better time. Ricky still has the ability to get up there and get second. Fonseca's one of the riders in his way. He'll move, just like Ferry did. Ferry went down, and it just almost seems right that somebody coming in there interfered is not going to get to. But Ricky's got a lot of work to do to get back up to second. Unbelievable. Watch this. Ferry got out of the way for Chad. Perfect move. Chad's like, great thing. Oh, wait a minute. Where did he come from? Ricky doesn't make contact. Jumps back over in front of Ferry going, you know what? You don't belong here. Get out of our way. Let us settle this ourselves. I don't think he meant to knock him down. That Ferry should have seen that coming. Then right after that, Chad says, hey, you're going to do that to my friend? Down you go.
Well, Ricky Carmichael, unfortunately, can see Chad Reed. Unfortunately for them, he's coming the opposite way. Ricky down about 10 seconds. Looks like he might pick up a spot here. Ernesto Fonseca doesn't get the drive out of the corner. And, you know, we thought that Ricky might be the one coming out aggressive. And Chad Reed, right in that cool, calm Australian style, just says, mate, good to see you, but I'm going to drop you. We'll be back to Salt Lake City with more of the 250 main when we return.
My mom, my pop.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City at Rice-Eccles Stadium. The 250 main is in progress.
I cannot believe Ernesto. I mean, he's got to be messing with the progress just a little bit of Ricky. Get out of the way. You know, all it takes is a mistake by Fonseca. Just a missed timing through one of these sections, like right here, and crashes in front of Ricky, and it's over. That would be the title right there. There's that inside line again. This time, Ernesto will lay up. Now, Ricky's just got to get up to Nick Way and Sean Hamlin, which has been not a problem his entire career. But Ricky's a bit rattled. I mean, Chad's got nothing to lose here. If he wads himself, well, he still gets second in the series. If Ricky wads himself again, he loses the championship.
Right.
So he's working his way up through these guys, but it's taken him a little while to get comfy and start riding like we've seen him ride before.
Chad Reed, your leader here in the 250 main from Salt Lake City, Utah. The Thunder from down under. His fastest lap time of 50.8, and Carmichael has yet to touch that. Hamlin and Way battling for second and third, and Ricky Carmichael trying to get in that fray. Ricky needs to get on the podium.
Carmichael's last, he needs more than that. Carmichael's last lap of 51.2 to Reed's 50.8. So Ricky is picking it up. And you can see that he's closing the gap on these guys, but man, he wants a shot at Reed. There's going to be, we need to keep our cameras rolling after this race. Find out what goes on afterwards, because when they stand next to each other on the podium, and they will, it's going to be some dirty looks.
Not a comfortable situation, I think, is what my partner's trying to say. Ricky Carmichael jumps his way past Way, so now he moves in right behind Hamlin. Folks from Honda encouraging Ricky got time, and he does. We still have almost a full race to go. They're only halfway through this thing, and Carmichael already has moved up into third position. But for Ricky Carmichael, just finishing, limping across the finish line and getting the title is not going to do the trick. Here's the pass on Way, number 27, the Yamaha.
No problem. He just hits the jump a little faster, and Way was like, okay, there's no sense in arguing with that.
And he's closing in fast on Hamlin. Look how quick he got up to 33. I don't know if Sean Hamlin was starting to think he had two locked up, but I think Ricky's there to say something about it. It'll be amazing.
Here it goes.
If Carmichael gets him right here, and it looks like he's going to do it. Wade corners it off on the apex, gets back Ricky a little quicker through here, and he'll make the pass.
Looks like Ricky's got he pulled the tear off. I think it stuck to his hand. It looked like he had it there.
So Carmichael moves into second after visiting the terra firma here at Rice-Eccles Stadium, but the problem for him is Chad Reed is long gone.
We can stay on Ricky. When he hits this trip ball, watch his left hand. Take it off the handlebar and shake. Now we won't get to see it, but those tear-offs have a little hole in them on the side so that the wind doesn't blow them back. You can reach out there and grab it. So many guys, I've done it a million times. You stick your thumb through there, and that'll mess with your concentration. Now Ricky, he's in second, but 13 seconds down on Reed. So he'll close the gap, no question about it. But it looks like Reed, unless he blows it somewhere, he's got 5 in a row.
Look at Ernesto Fonseca. He is starting to move up right behind Hamlin. What would it be? Has it ever happened before? 4 weeks in a row, 5 weeks in a row, the same podium?
Not that I can think of. Back when I raced, man, it was
Whoever
never
survived
knew. It was lottery, you know. We really jockeyed around quite a bit. If I was just in the top 3 5 weeks in a row, I was jazzed.
Well, at this point in the race, we still have 9 laps to go. Carmichael down about 15 seconds to Chad Reed. Do you concede it and just ride smart the rest of the way, don't get hurt, and just lay it all out for Vegas? Or do you really charge as hard as you can and hope that Chad makes a mistake?
You cannot lay it all out for Vegas. You know, he needs to, the way things went, he's got to understand where Chad's coming from now and obviously expect completely different actions coming from him, knowing how desperate he is to try to win a championship, as could be expected, and stay the heck away from him and any other Yamaha for that matter at the final round. And, you know, if he finishes second here, if it stays the way it is, it'll drop down to, I believe, 10 points. And going into the last round, I had a 10-point lead when I won my first title, or my only Supercross title, and it was close, but it was just enough. Look at that, Hamlin.
Oh, Hamlin going in hard on Fonseca. This is the battle for 3rd place. Ernesto Fonseca, number 24 on board the Honda. Sean Hamlin, number 33, the Suzuki rider, having his problems in the earlier rounds and getting things scored out here, and certainly a force that people are going to be looking for. Ernie has finished in 3rd position the last 4 consecutive races.
These guys battled at Pontiac, and Hamlin lost that. This time he's like, you know what? I don't want to lose that again. So, of course, he's going to get back in there and re-block past Fonseca. Fonseca caught him. And it kind of looks like Fonseca is a little quicker. He was really fast in the heat. Carmichael had a tough time getting around him. He didn't have that much trouble getting around Sean. I think Sean's going to fight for this one.
We'll be back to Salt Lake City in just a moment for more of the 215 main. Chad Reed, your leader.
Motorcycle financing can have a funny way of changing.
Back to Salt Lake City, the 215 main is underway, and Chad Reed continues to lead. Well, your leader, Chad Reed, here in the 250 main from Salt Lake City. We'll just read off St. Louis, Houston, Pontiac, Dallas. It looks like Salt Lake City right now. That is the streak this young man is on. Remember, he is a rookie in the 250, winning the 125 East last year, jumped to 250. Big things were expected of him, but I don't know if they were this big. I mean, he comes out here and just shocks everyone.
Well, I can, from my view here, I can look over and see Jimmy Button and Michael Byrne and Greg Albertine, a little while ago, Jeremy McGrath, and when Reed put Ricky down, I glanced over there, and those guys were like, holy cow. They could not believe what they were seeing either, and there's no way Ricky's going to get up and catch this guy. Look at him. Well, he's almost over-jumping that. He's almost turning that into a quadruple. I mean, everything's just flowing for him, and I worried a little bit about him in his heat race, and in practice he couldn't jump up onto the top of that tabletop the way that Carmichael was able to do it, and he seemed a little bit flustered with Fonseca, but as always, you know, he seemed to have the patience and kept a cool head, and another win. Unbelievable. 5 in a row, it looks like.
The ascent of your leader, Chad Reed, number 22 on board the Yamaha. He's the 99 and 2000 Australian Supercross champion. People heard about him, but they didn't know what to expect. They thought the Australian kid, he probably surfs, plays a little golf, chases the kangaroos. He comes over here, does the 125 East, pretty much cleans house, says, I'm going to jump to 250. And they thought, well, that's when it's going to happen.
Clean in house now. There's the Honda stopwatch, the gaps. And Reed just on cruise control right now. Ricky going, you know, why push it and, you know, take a chance at going down again, just get second. He's fuming under there. I guarantee you those stitches and that sore chin is going to hurt a lot more with the way things went tonight. And it's going to tie him in wins. I believe it was Carmichael with 7 wins coming in, Reed with 6. Reed's going to pick up his 7th, and you know, even if he can win more races than Carmichael would have to have an absolute disaster next weekend in Vegas to lose this thing. So he's not going to be happy to lose all these races. That's how close it can be to winning or losing. If you crash in that spot, it's going to take forever to get going.
So Ryan Clark, the helmet cam, just got lapped, and he sits in 6th position. So that tells you just how fast your leader, number 22, Chad Reed, is going. Reed has already picked up $100,000 for the SXGP title. He wants the AMA title and the other $100,000.
You know, when I heard about the money, it's up there. A bunch of commas, lots of zeros. And I heard about the money he was getting. I was like, huh, there's a lot of riders around the industry kind of going, you know, this guy hasn't even ridden a 250 really that much, and he hasn't proven himself. And yeah, 125 title, but a lot of the guys in that East Coast series last year were injured. It's just a touch easier for him. Not that he wouldn't have won anyway, but it's like, that's a lot of money, you know, and he has certainly proved his worth.
Chad Reed, number 22, the Thunder from Down Under. The Australian kid has just been phenomenal throughout the last 6 weeks and really throughout the tour. He has handled himself with class and poise, and he is cool without even trying. He is so calm, and after the races, win or lose, he's the same Chad Reed, and impressive rider, as is this young man, Ricky Carmichael, the two-time defending champion. It looks like he will get the third, but I'll tell you, Dave, these last 6 weeks have been difficult for Team Honda. More importantly, they've been difficult for Ricky Carmichael. He's not used to getting seconds.
No, this is a lot of whoopings that are going to be tough to get rid of when the outdoor nationals start in a few weeks, and a couple weeks actually. That's coming right up. Right after. Oh! All right.
He's going to make it interesting for us, isn't he?
Come on.
White flag is out for your leader, Chad Reed, and I don't think he's going to put on too much of a show. He will pass Bob Hanna on the all-time Supercross wins in a rookie season, and it's this close to going all the way. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, that was ugly.
Any other mere mortal would have dumped it.
Yeah,
but his lead is so big, even if he dumps it, I think he still probably gets the win.
Well, he had a 17-second lead at that point because he kept on jumping all the really technical, tricky stuff. And I was a bit surprised he was still jumping it, but maybe it's just pretty easy for him. Carmichael going around the other corner over there to get an idea of how far back on the track he is.
And to add insult to injury, Carmichael has to see Chad go that triple waving to the crowd. Nobody didn't like that. When the flash bulbs are going off and Ricky Carmichael's not in first, something is definitely wrong, but Chad Reed is the real deal, folks. This kid, only a rookie in his 250 campaign, and he has set the industry abuzz. Number 22 on board the Yamaha, Chad Reed, the winner in Salt Lake City, making 5 in a row.
Carmichael still getting through the whoop section. Eric Kehoe, the Honda team manager, watching that all the way to the end. Calculators out.
Yeah, no question about that.
Getting close.
Ricky comes across, takes a look at everyone.
Look at that, look at that. Look at this.
Yeah, we're going to have talk.
He's telling, oh, no. Look at that. Ricky's saying, hey, that's Tim Ferry's mechanic.
I don't appreciate, yeah.
Okay, and he's telling Timmy, I think what he was worried about was when he got sandwiched between Timmy and Chad, Ricky came off the triple and decided, you know what, I better jump to my left so I don't get cleaned out by Tim Ferry, because who knows where his motivations lie. So when he jumped over to his left to protect himself, he accidentally hit Tim Ferry and knocked him down.
Chad Reed celebrates, the fans here in Salt Lake, but the congregation right now is down on the inside, and we have got quite a posse. We hope cooler heads prevail, and Ricky Carmichael frustrated. I think his crew is trying to get him out of there, just saying, Ricky, take a break. There's James Stewart Sr. telling him, Ricky, just keep it together.
Look at Ricky. He's ready to kill somebody. Man, how perfect is it that we're going to Vegas?
We're going to settle it in Las Vegas. We'll be back to Salt Lake City in just a moment. We'll talk with our winner plus official results right after this short break. On Rice-Eccles Stadium, and what a 250 main we just witnessed, and really all the action, the tale was unfolded on this lap.
Well, Ferry in the lead, goes over the triple, turns around, sees Chad Reed as planned, gets out of the way. Reed takes over the lead. Perfect. Except, here comes Carmichael, spoils the party, goes into the lead. Watch Ferry, dives back to the inside. Carmichael sees him, figures, I better protect the inside, jumps over there. Ferry clips him and goes down. You can bet he is not happy about that, but it's not his fight. It's between Reed and Carmichael, and watch this. Reed goes to the inside. Doesn't look like he avoided that contact. Carmichael went down, dropped to 5th, saved it, got back up to 2nd. Incredible sequence.
As we take a look at our Honda main results, your winner, Chad Reed, Ricky Carmichael 2nd, Ernesto Fonseca 3rd, then Nick Way and Sean Hammond. Right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele.
5 weeks in a row, Chad Reed, your winner at Supercross. Chad, You know, it wasn't a perfectly clean race. I want to ask you, a lot of people are going to be saying you and Ricky got together. What was it from your view?
You know, I was just riding aggressive, and you know, he left the door open, and I went in there, and you know, I didn't mean to take him down. I just wanted to make the pass, and you know, I thought I had some really good lines, and I wanted to get out front and not eat dirt and get away. And you know, I didn't take him out intentionally, and that's not the kind of rider I am. And you know, if you really want to talk about it, you know, U.S. Open, I still got bruises on my legs, so you know, what goes around comes around, and you know, it's a shame they think like that. You know, I want to thank the guys that are sticking behind me, doing everything they can. Yamaha guys, Thor, Pass Unlimited, Christian, Scott, Jeff Spencer. Everybody's just sticking right in behind me, and I'm just doing everything I can.
Right on, Chad. Congratulations. A great race for Chad. We'll see how it goes down in Vegas. It should be exciting, if nothing else.
All right, thank you, Cameron. As we take a look at the series standings, the lead continues to dwindle. Ricky Carmichael still out in front, but Chad Reed now only 10 points down. Let's check in with Cameron one more time to get Ricky Carmichael's side of the story.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, 5 weeks in a row, Ricky Carmichael second place. A little frustrated coming into this event. A tough get-off in practice, but it seemed like it was utter chaos in the main event. What was going on out there?
You know, it's I'm just trying to protect my points lead, and chances are, if everything goes right, I will get first or second. And their only defense is to try to take me out, and hopefully, hoping that something will go wrong. But you know, I got to try not to subject myself to that kind of stuff.
Congratulations, Ricky. We're looking forward to Vegas.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron. Before we leave, we'll check in and see the THQ World Supercross GP standings. Chad Reed has already clinched that title. But we will tell you this, we will settle the score in the 250 main in Las Vegas, Nevada. Next week, we hope you can join us in person. Sam Boyd Stadium will be the venue. So on behalf of my colleagues, Cameron Steele and Jamie Little, and the champ, David Bailey, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Good night from Utah.